Hi, I'm Gail and welcome back to lowcarbrecipe.ideas.com. Now today we're going to make a low-carb blueberry muffin. Now I can't talk enough about this Kelly Herring. She has a cookbook. It's Guilt-Free Desserts. Now I've got it on my site and I'll put the link in this video, but she has healthy desserts, and most of them end up being low carb because if you are eating healthier, you are probably looking at lower carbs. So anyway, let's get started and I will show you how to make this delicious blueberry muffin. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put the oven on at 375 to get it nice and warm so we're ready to bake when we're done putting our mixture together. And now I've got 6 eggs here that I've cracked, and I'm just going to whisk them together. And the next step is we're going to take a half a cup of coconut oil. Now I've melted it in the pan. You can use the microwave. I try and stay away from the microwave as much as possible, just because I don't think it's that healthy for you. There is times that it has been used in the household, but not that often. So I've let the coconut oil cool down a little bit, quite a bit, as long as it doesn't get solid again on me. And now I'm going to whisk my egg and I'm going to pour in my coconut oil. Now you're whisking at the same time because you don't want your egg to cook if your coconut oil is too hot. So I'm just gradually pouring it in and whisking at the same time. And I think it was cooled down enough that I'm not going to have that problem, but it's just a warning for you when you're making this yourself. So I'm just going to scrape out some of the leftover. And I did say that was a half a cup of oil. Now I'm going to add in 1/4 teaspoon of sea salt. Now you're going to find if you order this book that everything that Kelly uses in her recipe is all organic and totally healthy. Now we have 1 teaspoon of vanilla. So we're just going to mix that in. Now I'm just going to set that aside for a minute, and then I'm going to bring over a small bowl, and I've got 2/3 of a cup of coconut flour and 1 teaspoon of non-aluminum baking powder. Now I bought mine at the superstore. You can also get them at the health food store also. They usually come in a little bag with a plastic bag inside. Actually, at the Bulk Barn they have it also. And it's the non-aluminum, which is healthier, not having that in your system. Now we're going to add a half a cup of powdered erythritol. Now, it is highly recommended that you do powder it. It just seems to dissolve a lot easier that way in all your recipes if you do. So what I normally do is I just buy my bag, and then I take it and put it in my Ninja machine and I grind it all up into powder, and then I'm all ready to go. So now we're going to bring over the wet ingredient. And what I did forget, in her recipe she wants half a teaspoon of stevia. Well, I'm not going to use that. I'm going to just use 1 drop of my liquid stevia. So I'm going to put that in the wet ingredient. Now if I was using the dry, I would have put it into the flour mixture. So now we're going to just take and add our dry mixture in here, and I'm going to use my spatula because I don't want it all to clump up all inside of my whisker. So we're just going to beat this up. Now we don't want it to be too thick, so she's got a measurement of 1/4 cup of water. So just take 1 tablespoon at a time and add water into the mixture because you want it to have a bit of consistency, not too thick and not too runny. So I'm going to play with it a little bit more and add some more water till I think it's got a nice consistency. I think I'm going to add a little bit more. And we still have to put in our blueberries also. There, I think we're about right now. So we're going to gently put in our blueberries. I did not have fresh blueberries. I went to get some last night at the grocery store and they didn't have any. So I got frozen blueberries. So I need a cup of blueberries. Oh, they smell so good. And we're just going to fold them in. And you're going to see I'm going to have that color because I used frozen. And then normally that wouldn't have happened. So if you used fresh, you're probably in a better situation there. So we're just going to take a spoonful and scoop them in. And like I said, if I used fresh blueberries, I wouldn't have had the color that I have. But I still have full-size blueberries in the muffins. So that is something that we've learnt together today. But I could not find any fresh ones at this time, so I just took what I could get. So we'll experiment and see how it turns out. Now I don't think I mentioned that I used the silicone cups for the muffins. You can put coconut oil in your pan in each tin if you'd like, or you can use paper ones, but I'm using silicone because I find they pop out really, really nice. So we're going to put them in the oven at 375 and we're going to bake them for approximately 15 to 18 minutes. It all depends on your oven. So here is the result. It took a lot longer to bake than I expected, and I think the biggest problem was because I used frozen blueberries, which had too much liquid in them. Because if you take a look, you'll see that I have all the, like a kind of a blue blueberry muffin, which there's nothing wrong with that, but I do recommend that you use fresh blueberries. Now I already taken a bite of one. There's the inside of it. It's a nice muffin. It is. It's very nice. I quite like it. And the carb count is awesome, but I'd like you to go to my site so you can see the recipe and the carb count, and not bad. It's actually not bad at all. So I got this recipe from Guilt-Free Desserts by Kelly Herring. This is a gluten-free, a dairy-free. It's got good source of magnesium and selenium, I guess that's what it's called. So she has all this information for every recipe that she does. So I highly recommend. There's a link below this video, and then I have a link on my site and a cookbook on my site that you can purchase if you would like to. So if you'd like to go to lowcarbrecipe.ideas.com, try this recipe and many other recipes, and I will see you in the next video. You enjoy. Take care.